Hey, what is going on, everybody? And happy holidays still. I'm probably going to say this until the New Year's. But anyways, with 2020 coming to a close pretty soon, I want to spend some time looking back at the characters that we got this year. And in this particular video, I want to go over my top 10 choices for character releases in 2020. Now, my picks are going to be a combination of impact to the game overall, and some who I thought have some really good uses and interesting kits. And I'm going to try to keep it to one per team, although I did overlap twice, and you'll find out later who those are. So let me know if my top 10 is close to the ones that you might have been considering, or if there's any that I might have left out that should have been on this list. So without further ado, let's get this party started. Alright, so starting off this video at number 10 is Yoyo. Now, as far as I'm aware, she was a very early addition to the game in 2020. I believe in January sometime. She was a 45 shard blitz on lock. I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong about any of those, please correct me in the comments below. The reason why she makes this list, though, largely is her passive. So her passive Swift Protector. On enemy turn, if this character has no other protector allies, apply offense down to this enemy. This cannot be dodged. Now, this is really important because if you're going to run Yoyo at all, you have to make sure that you don't have any other protector allies on the team. You know, even characters like Invisible Woman, which some people forget are protectors, if they have any of those, then this passive will not trigger. Also, on spawn, apply defense up to self and all non-minion shield and human allies. This is very important, although a lot of people do run her on the Inhuman team. I'm hoping that down the line, though, that they do add a proper Agents of Shield team, which is where she's really supposed to be, and sort of create that sort of Inhuman royal family to sort of make both of those teams two separate teams. Yoyo, I don't believe, deserves to be on the Inhuman team because she is from Agents of Shield, not part of any Inhuman related thing, even though she is Inhuman. And so the reason why she isn't higher up on this list is because I don't really have a place for her at this time. I don't really use her much anymore. She is tier 12. I did get use of her a little bit early on in the year, but not so much anymore. However, she is a really great character, and if you're in the early and mid game and happen to get her unlocked, then I would definitely recommend bringing her up. But as you can see, I only have her at 4 star, 4 yellow, 4 red, and given how long I've been playing this game, it's a bit surprising that I don't even have her a bit further. Unfortunately, the reason for that is she is a premium orb exclusive, so this is the only place that you can find her. She is at a 2% drop in the premium orb, which is quite rare, so unless there comes to be a cheap offer down the line, there isn't really many ways to pick her up, unfortunately. So that's Yoyo in the number 10 slot. Now, coming in at the number 9 slot is going to be Taskmaster. Now, he was the character that brought together this whole Merc Taskmaster team on war defense. I assume that he was supposed to come at the same time as probably Yelena and Red Guardian, but they kind of split that up because of COVID and all of that, and the release for the Black Widow movie got pushed back. However, he has a really amazing standalone kit. So again, it's always about the passives that tend to really make that. So on spawn, gain offense up for 2 turns, 60% chance to gain. This is actually level 4 stats. So I mean, assist now on a Merc villain ally's turn, block chance, block amount, counter attack per mercenary ally, damage per skill enemy, and then he gives all the mercenary villains damage as well. And then on war defense, there's just a whole slew of text here. You know, there's a lot of stuff here. You get speed bar, he applies taunt to the enemy if there's 2 or more Merc allies, unavoidable as well. So when you're fighting them on war defense, they are definitely a threat, and you definitely need to watch out for Taskmaster. Now, aside from this, of course, his ultimate is super powerful. Attack all enemies for 160% damage. Again, this is level 6. Apply blind to primary target and 1 random secondary target. If you have this upgraded, this can apply up to 3 targets. Apply bleed, more bleed, bonus damage, unavoidable. A really crazy character. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole kit, but he is also really good in real-time arena. A lot of people are using him right now. He's a big pain in the ass there, but overall a really good standalone kit. And now, where has he been made farmable? I do have a 6 red if you guys saw that as well. He was recently made farmable in Doom War 3.9, the final end of the Doom War campaign, so it is a bit more of a difficult farm, but if you can get him there, really good. There's also, like, I guess, as of the recording of this video, there is an offer here as well, so he comes up on offers from time to time, but yeah, very strong character, a very great kit for another 2020 character. And now we have the number 8 spot, and this goes to Ghost. Now, this is the only character that I have on the top 10 list that is actually, for the most part, a singular mode character. Now, Ghost and Pimtech were largely designed to really excel in Dark Dimension, and especially Ghost. And the reason why is Quantum Explosion, her ultimate. Attack all enemies for 350% damage, prolong all negative effects by 1 on each target, but it's this part here, steal 15% health from all enemies and redistribute this to Pimtech allies. All Pimtech allies receive more health, and this bypasses heal block. Unavoidable and cannot be blocked. So essentially this is kind of like a Minerva health steal ability for Pimtech, but on a different character. And another reason, the second reason actually for Dark Dimension specifically, is Quantum Entanglement, her passive ability. But specifically, there's a lot of text here, but specifically I want to look at this Dark Dimension text here. So down here, so on any enemy's turn, apply offense down to that enemy. So this is basically a yo-yo passive once again, but this is specifically to Dark Dimension. I think if this was available outside of Dark Dimension, she'd be crazy OP. She'd be way more OP than Yo-Yo is, which she's not really. But yeah, there is a lot of text here. I'm not going to go through the entire text, but she is a very Dark Dimension heavy character. She is a great standalone character for Dark Dimension, but I wouldn't say that she has a ton of uses outside of there, unfortunately. And her release has kind of come and gone. She was a more later edition of 2020, so it was just last patch, and she isn't made farmable yet, but she is available. Yeah, it's available for 10 shards in that milestones that's currently going on with the Mojo's Winter Christmas. But other than that, it's going to be a while until we see her farmable. I'm lucky that I got her for 5-star, but I know not everyone did get a chance to. But if you did get a chance to unlock her, definitely bring her up for Dark Dimension 2 and beyond, because she's very useful. Alright, now we have Dr. Octopus in the number 7 spot. This is actually the first time I think Doc Ock has ever made a top 10 list of mine. But I think as far as kits go, Doc Ock has a really interesting one. Now, the reason why he's not higher is because I wouldn't say he's necessarily overpowered, or is he really that required in the meta, but he does have a really great kit. He does really bring that Sinister Six team together and really brings them online. And not, you know, aside from that, actually the passive, we always look to the passives because always it seems to where a lot of the characters get their stuff. But specifically, I want to look at this part here. It's way at the bottom. 10,000% resistance against offense down. All allies gain 10,000% resistance against offense down. So essentially, you can't get offense down on your team. And the really great thing about this is even if Doc Ock dies, it still persists through death. So as long as he's there at the start of the match, then this carries on for the rest of the match. It blocks things like Ebony Maw's offense down, Invisible Woman's offense down, and plenty of other characters who have offense down, not going to land on the team. Aside from that, he does summon a extra Sinister Six member, depending on who you're missing on your team. This defaults to Shocker most of the time, but overall, he has a really great kit. Again, not going to go through everyone's kit, but Doc Ock does make this list. Also, I think he looks really cool. I have a lot of fun with him, and his event is actually going to be coming back around. If you need to get Doc Ock or unlock Doc Ock on the second pass, it should be probably within a couple weeks, and you do need X-Force at 5 stars. So get those prepared if you do need to unlock Doc Ock, because he's a lot of fun. Okay, and I wrestled with this choice a little bit. So here we have at number 6, we have AntiVenom. He is the support character for the symbiote team, and it was really between, you know, I wasn't sure if I wanted to add AntiVenom or Scream, but I did end up choosing AntiVenom. Now, I haven't completely maxed out, and there's for very good reason. His kit is really amazing. You know, he can revive other symbiote allies if you're using them, especially, you know, because they're really amazing in raids, no doubt about it. Applies clears heal block on allies, apply immunity to all allies, heals everyone. So actually this part can be available, can be used on everyone, including non-symbiotes. His passive, he cures negative stats effects on turn, and if they're symbiotes, then clears even more of them, and regeneration, and just a lot of stuff. He actually has a really high base stat total as well. So in terms of damage, actually, he isn't too bad either. There's a reason why I have him maxed out. He is really good, and if you have him unlocked, I would consider gearing him up. Unfortunately, again, just like a lot of newer characters, he isn't farmable yet. He came around through a milestone event around Halloween time. Don't really expect to see him probably farmable until spring 2021, my guess is. But if you did manage to pick him up, then definitely put some resources into him, because he is really awesome. And now we're halfway through the list, and some people might find this a bit surprising, but Baron Zemo did make the number 5 slot for me. Now, I think he is a really strong character. He's a really crazy kit, and he doesn't have one singular main use. He is primarily a war offense character in this new sort of Hydra team alongside Crossbones, Winter Soldier, Hydra Grenadier, and a random 5th character. You could use Red Skull if you don't have a place for him, if you didn't build up those Hydra minion teams, but yeah, he is a crazy character. His kit is truly amazing, and you guys have probably run into him in real-time arena as well. Bonkers there, and quite a pain in the ass, to be frank. So the True Leader, this is his passive here. On spawn, gain charged, apply immunity for 1 turn, and defense up for 2 turns to self and all Hydra allies. Basically, if he's charged, he attacks all non-minion enemies for 300%, minion enemies for 400% damage, clears positive effects from everyone, applies disrupt to minions, and then he does lose that charge, and then minions killed by this attack cannot be revived. He also gains 40% speed. This is super bonkers. And the non-minion Hydra allies gain 40% speed. So a lot of speed bonus going on to himself and all of the other Hydra allies. On war offense, you know, he gets evades to adjacent allies. This is just crazy kit, man. He is the current real-time arena mojo season rewards there, so you can get 100 shards from him there if you're paying for the battle pass, 45 if you're free to play. He is a 100 shard unlock, I'm pretty sure, and in order to charge up that the charge again, you have to land his ultimate, which does apply ability block and slow. Ability block for 1 turn, slow for 2 turns, and just, you know, is really crazy because he almost always goes first. He has really high speed, and this can really shut down characters like even before the match has even started. His AoE from his passive, depending on how high you have him built up, can really do a crazy amount of damage. This guy is really a force to be reckoned with. So yeah, if you do have him, build him up. Doesn't matter what game mode, although it does have limited uses in some game modes. He is a lot of fun and a crazy ass character. So Baron Zemo definitely gets that number 5 for me. Now here's where we probably start getting to the more predictable choices, given that there's only 4 characters left. So Black Bolt for me gets the number 4 nod. Probably the reason why he isn't higher is I use him a little bit less than the characters that are above him, but he is without a doubt still a pretty solid character. Not to mention that you do also need him. He is a requirement to unlock Ebony Maw, another legendary character. And yeah, he is a very strong blaster. He is a very basic kit to some degree. You know, he just has a lot of damage output, but I do want to make mention of King of Adelan, his passive. So any characters killed by Black Bolt cannot be revived. This is specific to a lot of characters with revive mechanics, specifically Ultron. So if you were to kill Ultron, then he cannot revive on his passive. And also anyone with revive abilities, so Minerva, things like that, they also cannot be revived. Also characters like Mysterio can't use his little clone thing. That doesn't work either. So just, and then the villain techs, if they drop below 25% health, they do what's called the burp, or Black Bolt does what's called the burp. It does 200% damage at level 5, but if it's villain tech, it's double for 400% damage. So this is quite killer if you're fighting any villain tech enemies. Also on enemy summon, apply disrupted and clear 3 positive effects on the summoner. So this is pretty crazy as well, and that basically shuts down Ultron and a lot of other summoners as well, and not to mention all the passive buffs here for the Inhuman allies. So again, in order to unlock Black Bolt, you're gonna need a 5-star group of Asgardians. There are only 5, so as of this time anyways. So yeah, if you really need to unlock Black Bolt, the King of Adelan, then that's how you're gonna do it, and he is my number 4 pick. Now, closing in at the top, this is probably going to come to no surprise as well. Emma Frost, she is the number 3 pick for me. Now, she has taken this game by storm, especially with those 28-day milestones, which, by the way, is coming back around in January. So probably about, I would say in about 2 weeks or so, she'll probably be coming back around so you can collect some more shards for her there. And yeah, crazy kit. Diamond form, she clears all negative effects from self and all allies, applies slow to all enemies. This is on a 3 energy cooldown as well. Her ultimate is basically like Loki and applies blind, mind controls enemies and clears all positive effects. It's just a crazy kit, and this is on a cooldown of 4 as well. She does get her diamond form, which I believe it mentions here, so she gets 400% armor and 500% resistance while charged, which is essentially her diamond form, and she gives a permanent 10% speed down to all enemies. So she is really good. You guys have probably fought her in War Defense on the Marauders team, and she is a super pain in the ass, but aside from that, she's a really great character in raids. She's great in arena, she's great in Dark Dimension, she's great in real-time arena. She's the full shebang, you know. She is good everywhere, so she is a crazy amazing character, and like I said, she is coming back around in the milestones, probably in about 2 weeks, I would say. So save up your gold, as that's the primary way to collect shards for Emma Frost, and you won't regret leveling her up. Definitely, not only is she like a top 5 character in the game, but she is my 3rd pick for best character of 2020 in Marvel Strike Force. Alright guys, and so this top 2 here was really up for grabs for me. Really could have gone either way, but number 2 is landing on Symbiote Spider-Man here. He is a force to be reckoned with. He has really taken this game by storm. Unfortunately, he is a bit of a difficult unlock though for newer players, but if you can get your hands on Symbiote Spider-Man, he is one of, again, another like top 3, top 5 best character in the game. Very strong. He does really bring that symbiote steam online. You kind of need him a little bit to kind of make them work, but not necessarily. But he is primarily improving their raids in Dark Dimension for the symbiotes team. I'm not going to go through the whole kit again, but it gets 100% drain for him and for all the symbiote allies in raids in Dark Dimension. This is bonkers crazy, not to mention the health boost, which is just a nice aside, but that 100% drain, I'm using a symbiote team in my raids. I use them in Dark Dimension 2, 3, and 4. They are really that good. Or when I say 4, I mean I plan to do that, and his kit is super good. You know, he is basically like I said before, he's like OG Spider-Man on steroids. He does things that multiple characters can do. He is a really good character. So if you can manage to get him, unfortunately where you can find him is only in the milestone orbs at a lower percentage chance. They're not really that great, but if you do get him unlocked, especially if you're in the early and mid game, this guy is going to propel you forward miles ahead because he is super good. So don't don't leave him in the dust. Make sure you build him up if you get him unlocked. Alright, and here we go for the final top spot here. Number 1, Ebony Maw takes the crown. Now, this probably isn't surprising if any of you guys have seen my top 10 videos from previous patches. The only reason why I haven't done one of those is because this patch, specifically 5.0, is a 2-month long patch, so this is probably going to come next month. We'll see if Ebony Maw maintains that position there as well, but Ebony Maw is one of the best characters, is the best character in my opinion that's come to the game in 2020. Not specifically just because he's a legendary character, but he really brings that Black Order team online. So again here, so he gives Thanos all of the extra, the Reality Stone, the Time Stone, and the Soul Stone that he needs in order to become empowered. Not only that, he gives all of these buffs to the Black Order characters and Thanos. He does, I'm not going to go through all of this. He has a crazy amount of text. He is super amazing. You can see it here as well if you don't have him. But specifically, I want to make mention of Force Transfusion. So this is another health steal ability. This is what makes him really good in Dark Dimension. He's a very strong and solid character here. This does a total of 15% health. There seems to be a common trend around the health steal abilities to be about 15%. I guess any more than that could be broken, other than Dark Phoenix, which I believe is 20%, but Ebony Maw does 15%, Minerva does 15%, Ghost does 15%, etc. So, and not only that, it does apply slow to all enemies for 2 turns. Really good. Fills speed bar for Black Order allies, redistributes health. Really good ability. Not to me, he's basically like Shuri and Invisible Woman rolled up into one and then some, with his kit. Crazy kit. How do you get Ebony Maw? Well, you do need a full team of Inhumans at 5-star, and one of them has to be Black Bolt. So Black Bolt has to be in there alongside 4 other Inhumans, and that's how you get them unlocked. But yeah, Ebony Maw definitely gets that #1 slot for best character of 2020. And that's the list, everyone. Now, some of this might have looked familiar to my usual top 10 end of patch videos, but again, since this one won't be over until sometime the end of January or maybe even into February, I wanted to add this one here. Let me know though if there's some characters I overlooked. There were a few I were considering adding to the list, such as X-23, who I think is really awesome for real-time arena, for that early ability block, and probably a couple other characters I also could have seen on this list, but I had to cut it off somewhere. We've had an interesting set of characters come to the game this year, and let's hope that 2021 will provide us with even more good characters that really push Marvel Strike Force forward in a meaningful way. But that's the end of the video, and if you guys enjoyed this, then please smash that like button down below, and of course, until next time, stay safe, and I'll see y'all later. While I'm signing out.